Threads of Knowledge. Weaving Paths for Higher Education in Textile Design in Portugal. By Sonia Seixas, Johnny Montagna, and Maria João Felix from Portugal, with special acknowledgement to FCT, CIAUD, and Lisbon School of Architecture from Universidade de Lisboa. The purpose of this exploratory study is to, under educational methods, stand and reflect on the relevance of the existence of a higher education specialized in textile design for the Portuguese territory. Textile design considers objects as a whole, right and back, three-dimensional objects with inseparable characteristics and properties. Textile designer must learn to work through experimentation and practice, and this requires not only creative skills, but also a deep understanding of materials, production processes, and technology. The textile industry is currently undergoing a period of change characterized by the introduction of more sustainable approaches to production processes and business structures, with the aim of reducing environmental impact. And the role of the textile designer is fundamental, as the decisions made in the creative process of a textile object significantly determine its environmental impact. It is critical to introduce innovative educational strategies that go beyond traditional methods and cultivate the ability to apply theoretical knowledge to solve real-world challenges. In Portugal, there is no undergraduate courses specialized in textile design. Of the 8 Portuguese undergraduate offers in textile and fashion design, only 2 deal with the universe of textile design, the course in Fashion and Textile Design of ASART, and the course in Fashion and Textile Design and Production of ISMET. Textile design is a field where art and technology meet. Textile design is about exploring materials and structures, surfaces, and constructions, and this requires not only creative skills but also a deep understanding of materials, production, and technology. Textile design does not only refer to the fashion industry, but covers a variety of design contexts from decorative items to everyday objects, and includes several areas of intervention. With the development of new technologies and diverse applications, it is essential for textile designers to become aware of sustainability and circular economy issues. They must now also consider the origin of materials throughout the creative process, which makes their role more complex, but also more challenging. The societies of the 21st century is increasingly dominated by vehement information and knowledge processes that put pressure on the development of skills capable of facing the challenges posed by the main problems of the planet. Society increasingly needs critical, autonomous, and emotionally empowered people who can solve problems efficiently in a wide variety of situations, and people who know how to reflect on knowledge rather than just memorize it. And this contributes to a paradigm shift in education. The World Economic Forum report on Schools of the Future, Education 4.0, points to an evolution and, in some ways, a revolution in the traditional education system. A system based on learning by doing. It is important to adopt new, more innovative teaching approaches to promote the development of new skills related to digital technologies. Design requires multidisciplinary collaboration to address complexity and should be done in close collaboration and interaction with other fields of knowledge. Designers must be educated in cultural awareness, social responsibility, and proactivity. Pedagogical approaches are sought that can teach textile designers how to deal with changes in society, industry, and the planet. The history of the Portuguese textile industry dates back to past centuries and is still a driving force for the social and economic fabric of Portugal today. It is scientifically proven that this industry is in a process of change, striving to incorporate more sustainable practices into business models and production processes. This process of change assigns an important role to the textile designer, as the decisions made in the creative process of a textile object significantly determine its environmental impact. In order to continue building a sustainable textile ecosystem that respects society and the planet, textile designers must be educated in their academic careers to think in terms of the circular economy. However, this may prove difficult in Portugal, as there are currently no higher education courses that focus on textile design. There are currently 8 undergraduate courses in the field of textile and fashion design in Portugal, 4 of which are public and 4 are private. Only 2 courses include the terminology textile. The undergraduate course in fashion and textile design from ISART, and the undergraduate course in fashion and textile design and production from ISMAT. None of the existing offers is specialized in textile design, but all of them deal in parallel with the universe of fashion design. Even the most recent offering, which came out in 2023, is called Sustainable Fashion Design. It can be said that the existing offerings are somewhat responsive to the needs of the fashion and clothing industry, but as far as the textile industry is concerned, the response from academia has been sparse, which raises some concerns. How can the textile industry find and hire textile designers to continue building a promising textile ecosystem if academic offer is reduced? Doesn't it make sense to have higher education training specialized in textile design in Portugal? A focus group was held, attended by experts from the sector, to hear their opinion on building an academic curricula for textile design that can address the emerging and future needs of the textile industry, academia, and textile designers. The results lead us to conclude that such education should adopt a teaching model based on practice and no longer mainly theoretical, with challenges in a real environment for the consolidation of knowledge and the acquisition of transversal and specific skills. To this end, it is important to create a closer relationship between academia, knowledge centers, and industry to provide students with experience in a real environment. Collaborative strategies such as workshops, immersive weeks, and the realization of concrete projects can be used to help students understand the technological frontiers through a collaborative dialogue between creativity and production. It is important to consider new teaching formats with more innovative and differentiated strategies and methods. In light of this feedback, we have designed a script of a teaching model for textile design that focuses on active teaching learning strategies. A hands-on learning that includes experimentation, exploration, interaction, and reflection action, since in the field of design an interpretive process is required to understand the problems that are never clearly defined. Learning focuses on real-world problems by increasing student engagement and allowing them to acquire cross-cutting skills such as teamwork, communication, creative and critical thinking, among others, in addition to theoretical and practical content. The main objective of this model is to equip textile designers with skills to understand the professional context and practice of textile design, with a clear understanding of the textile industry, society, and respect for the planet. The model is supported by 3 major blocks of learning. Foundational, oriented to the specific philosophy and culture of design to fill in any gaps that may affect their education or practice. Core, focused on textile materials and techniques, allowing the development of essential skills related to the universe of textile design. Specific, to develop their skills in the different areas of intervention in textile design. This model is designed to expose students to a range of important topics while allowing them to direct their own learning through the inclusion of elective units. This allows them to customize their academic and career profiles based on their areas of interest. The first year focuses on experimentation. Provides basic creative, technical, and cultural tools and the preparatory knowledge necessary to understand and master the creative process by stimulating the search for one's design identity that underpins knowledge of textiles, production, and creative use. The second year focuses on immersion is structured as a moment of deepening, where the method, tools, and theoretical knowledge are experienced through project-based activities. The cultural and specific disciplines support the development of the construction phases of the design process and allow the acquisition of knowledge and skills in specific professional areas. The third year is dedicated to consolidation, where students deal with complex issues and acquire more advanced tools for elaborating and communicating a project, learning how to manage the different phases of the development of an idea and developing their own design autonomy. Just as weaving creates complex and beautiful patterns, students are challenged to weave their understanding of materials, techniques, and aesthetics into their creative proposals. The study concludes that Portuguese higher education in textile design is limited and should be complemented with a specialized offer in this field in a close relationship between academia and industry to allow shared education. One way forward could be joint teaching between academia and industry, but for this to happen, relationships must be strengthened to enable teaching learning strategies based on real-world problems. In this way, future textile designers can better understand technological boundaries through a collaborative dialogue between creativity and production. It is believed that the main contribution to design with this study was the possibility of pointing out paths to higher education in textile design, after presenting a script of a flexible teaching learning model. An education of this type should consider collaborative teaching and integrate formal and non-formal learning strategies in a multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and transdisciplinary vision. Look for educational models that can teach textile designers how to navigate the changes in industry, society, and the planet. And for this, it is essential to start building a curriculum based on the threads of knowledge, a proposal with which the author of this study makes in order to promote the progress of knowledge in this field in Portugal. Thank you.